All right, thanks, guys. Villanova takes on St. John's, and that's going to be a 6:30 Eastern tip-off at Madison Square Garden in New York. The Wildcats of Villanova are -3.5 on the road, total at 146. Now, we did see a half a point move toward Villanova and movement upward on the total. The Wildcats open as the 3-point favorite, up to -3.5. Total open 143, up to 146. 68% of the consensus are leaning toward Villanova, 53% shaded toward the over. And right now, St. John's is plus $1.50 on the money line. Now, if you like the Red Storm in this matchup here, St. John's has lost 3 out of their last 4 games. They also went just 2-6 straight up in their last 8. They're shooting just 41% from the field this year. Meanwhile, Villanova on the other side getting red hot right now. Winners of 9 out of their last 10. They also went 6-3 against the spread in their last 9. Outright victories against the likes of Butler, Xavier, and Kansas within their last 10 games as well. They're averaging 74 points per contest. Meanwhile, defensively, their opponents are shooting just 29% from downtown. They're also giving up just 66 points per contest. Connor Gillespie, 15 points a game, 5 assists. He's shooting 85% from the stripe. Shadiq Bey, 15 points a game, 5 rebounds for the Cats. And Jeremiah Robinson Earl, 11 points a game, 9 rebounds for Villanova. Total-wise, 7 out of Villanova's last 9 did stay under the number. Meanwhile, St. John, 80% of the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean Villanova -3.5 and the under 146 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Tuesday's college basketball action. Happy Tuesday out there to everybody. Best of luck in your games tonight. Now, before we go ahead and move on, just got to quickly remind you to check me out once again on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 throughout the rest of the month. Now, we do have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Right now, we have an extra daily pick package right now, and we are 6-2 in our last 8 picks in that package. We're also 5-1 with a push in our last 7 board member package plays, and we're hitting at 63% in our last 25 board member package plays as well. You might be wondering, why would I buy a pick when I can get the picks for free on YouTube? And you're exactly right. What I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I break the games down into just 3 to 4 premium picks per day instead of handicapping every single game on the board, side and total. And I'll tell you this much, my premium picks on Patreon, my current record's a whole lot better than it is handicapping every single game on the board here on YouTube, side and total. So if you want to check out my current record, you can do that for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right. Let's go ahead and dive into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Texas A&M taking on Tennessee, 6:30 Eastern tip-off. The Volunteers open as the 10.5 point favorite, up to -11. Total open 118.5, up to 119 and a hook. 54% are leaning Tennessee, 61% on the over. Right now, the Aggies are plus 535 on the money line. Texas A&M, they successfully covered the point spread in 6 out of their last 9. They covered against LSU, Arkansas, and Oregon State during that stretch. They're giving up just 63 points per contest. Meanwhile, their opponents are shooting just 39% from the field. Josh Nebo, 13 points a game, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. And Savion Flagg, 11 points a game, 5 rebounds for Texas A&M. Now, the Volunteers on the other side really struggling to cover the number on their home court. Just 4-7 against the spread at home. They're also averaging just 66 points per contest on their home court as well. And they're shooting 41% in the friendly confines. 41% from the field, that is. Now, total-wise, the Vols are 60% to the under in their last 5. They're also 9-2 to the under on their home court. Texas A&M on the other side, 11-7 to the under overall for the year. I'm going to lean Texas A&M plus 11 and the under 119.5 in that game. Next matchup, SMU taking on the Bearcats, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Cincinnati. Cincy opened 5, up to -5.5. Total open 138.5, up to 139. 54% are leaning SMU. 56% shaded toward the under. And right now the Mustangs, the Pony Express, they are plus $2 on the money line. Now if you like SMU in this matchup here, pretty good covering the spread away from home. They're 5-2 against the spread as the official road team. They're also 6-2 straight up in their last 8 ball games. They're averaging 77 points per contest. They're also shooting 47% from the field. Now defensively, their opponents are shooting just 40% from the field against them, and they rank in the top 40 in defensive rebounding. Kendrick Davis, 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists for the Mustangs. Isaiah Mike, 15 points a game, 7 rebounds. And Tyson Jolly, 15 points a game, 7 rebounds for SMU. Now the Mustangs are 70% to the over in their last 10. Cincy 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games themselves. I'm going to lean SMU plus 5.5 and the over 139 in that game. Next matchup, Mississippi State taking on the Gators, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Gainesville. Florida open 5.5 up to -6. Total open 135 down to 134. 67% are leaning Florida, 58% on the under. Mississippi State is plus 230. Mississippi State has also won 3 out of their last 4 games. They went a perfect 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 as well. The Bulldogs rank in the top 10 in road offensive rebounding, and they're giving up just 64 points per contest. Gators on the other side, losers of their last 2 straight. They also failed to cover the point spread in 6 out of their last 9. Gators are 70% to the over in their last 10. Mississippi State 60% to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean Mississippi State plus 6 and the over 134 in that game. Next matchup, it is going to be Michigan taking on Nebraska. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Wolverines opened as the 5-point favorite on the road, total at 145.5. No surprise here, we saw a half-a-point fade of Michigan and movement downward on the total. The Wolverines open -5 down to 4.5. Total open 147.5 down to 145 and a hook. 60% are leaning Wolverines, 62% on the under. Right now, Nebraska's plus $1.80 on the money line. Now, the Cornhuskers have successfully covered the point spread in 5 out of their last 6. Successful covers over the likes of Rutgers, Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Iowa during that stretch. They're also averaging 72 points per contest. Meanwhile, their opponents are just shooting 27% from downtown on their home court. Michigan on the other side, really struggling as of late. I think Howard, his job is in jeopardy. Things continue to go this way. Michigan lost their last 4 straight. They also went just 3-7 in their last 10. The Wolverines really not doing good for their backers either, covering just 30% of their games in their last 10 as well. They're allowing 73 points per contest on the road. Now, 4 out of Michigan's last 6 games did get over the number. Nebraska 4-0 to the over in their last 4. I'm going to lean Cornhuskers plus 4.5 and the over 145.5 in that contest. Next game, Seminoles, Cavaliers, 7 o'clock, Virginia. Good old-fashioned flip of the lines in this one. Florida State opened as the 1-point dog, now -1.5. Total open 114.5, down to 114 even. 65% are leaning toward the Noles, 54% on the over. Right now, UVA is plus $1.10 at home. Now, the Cavaliers really struggling against the point spread in the friendly confines. They failed to cover the spread in 8 out of their last 11 home games. They also went just 2-4 straight up in their last 6. Virginia's covering just 30% of their games in their last 10 as well. They're averaging just 56 points per contest, and they're shooting just 40% from the field. Now, FSU on the other side, 17-2 overall for the year, 7-2 straight up away from home. They're averaging 76 points per contest. They also rank in the top 35 in the country in points allowed on the road, and they're in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage on the road. Now, 4 out of the Seminoles' last 5 games all got over the total. They're also 4-2 to the over as the official road team. Virginia on the other side, 6-3 to the over in their last 9. I think the market's definitely over-adjusting toward the under in their games. Very good defensively, but that's a lot of overs for a team who very tough to score against. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Florida State -1.5 and the over 114 in that game. Next matchup, it is going to be Purdue taking on Rutgers, 8